Hello, my friends. Dorothy here. We're going to talk about the new moon in the sign of Taurus. It's on May 19th. Now, while I am prepping and sharing my screen with you so you can see what I'm seeing, don't forget to subscribe. I've got 60% of you who watch these videos are not subscribers. So, hey, help me get over 13,000. Please, that would be great. Thank you so much, because that's something I value. And speaking of value, look at this new moon. This new moon is at 28 degrees of Taurus. Now, we're not worrying about the house placement for this new moon, for any of the new moons or full moons forecasts that I do, because we're all in different places. But use this content just for you. Just hear what's going on and apply it to your own life and your own current life circumstances. That's the way that I want you to use the reports and the forecasts that I put out, because that's what it's all about. So when we have a new moon that is so late in the zodiac sign, and you can see it's at 28 degrees in Taurus, 28 Taurus, the sun and the moon. And that means that you and I were at this point in the month, the astrological month, and even in the lunar month, we've got wisdom. The sun has been in the sign of Taurus for 28 days so far. So we have had a number of major transits going on since the eclipse on May 5th. That was Taurus Scorpio eclipse, full moon. That should have brought something to your attention. And we also had on May 9th, the sun and Uranus making their conjunction at 18, almost 19 degrees of Taurus. And so that would bring like sudden unexpected events, right, around things that you value, while the moon was in a waning phase. So with that on May 9th, with that sun Uranus conjunction, something would come into our lives. It was a little bit different for everybody. I've heard a lot of different stories. I got my own woe is me story. It's over on my Facebook. Go check it out. Dorothy Morgan, Astrologer. But the point is like, it's teaching me, and it should be teaching you, since May 9th, when that sun Uranus, if anything happened, there would just be something big and sudden and unexpected. And it could be an opportunity, a problem, just unexpected things. That's Uranus. We cannot really define exactly what he's going to do, except he's going to stir the pot. So you and I don't continue to do the same thing all the time. It gives us, especially now that we're looking at this new moon, let's bring it up to this new moon here on May 19th. It gives us that opportunity to reevaluate and to look at what is it that I really value. What do I value more than anything? I lost a lot of computer content, and I value that I lost the things that have been very creative to me, right? I value that. I'm sad I lost some of these files. Whatever. And so I'm not dismissing myself. I just want to get back to the new moon. So I want you to look in your life and see, especially since May 9th, and then until we get to this new moon on May 19th, that's a 10-day time period, look at what you became aware of and how that value is shifted. So your focus, you're either more honed in on something that is of value to you, or something of value to you realize it's like, yeah, that really didn't mean much and I don't need it. Or whatever your story is, there's always different stories. And then at new moons, we're meant to hone in and pay attention to, initiate something new if you want to. And if you're not, if doing rituals and new moon things isn't a big deal for you, or you don't care about doing those things, at least get out your journal or a calendar or something every new moon and just write down how you feel and what you're experiencing emotionally in your life at that point in time, because the new moons always start a beautiful cycle that we get to follow. We can get to follow it for a whole month. And there's other cycles that take 6 months, and other cycles that I work with called the lunar gestation cycle that take 3 years at 9-month increments. So it's important that you mark this day, May 19th, write down how you're feeling, and at the very least, and what wisdom you've gained over these last over the time period between the full moon and the new moon. So May 5th eclipse, May 9th sun Uranus conjunction, and now May 19th. What have you learned in that time frame? It's a 2-week time frame of what your values are and what's important for you. Other Taurus things I want to cover. I know I talk fast. Other Taurus things I cover is Taurus is food. Whether you like food, you want to eat food, you want to make food, you want to take a cooking class, you want to learn to do something that's more organic or natural, or get in touch with farmers so you can get fresh food. It's all those kind of things. If you're an activist, then you might be doing whatever activists do. I am not one. Whatever activists do to support farmers and support clean crops and corporations not buying up all the land, you pick it. There's so many people that watch this. There's so many people, so different. You have your own thing. That's one thing, food. And that's what it looks like. It's not just going to the grocery store. Also, our money. Taurus rules how I earn my money, the money I'm earning, the money that's mine that I get to use. Did that go through a change? Do you need to set some financial goals? That is really stirring up a lot of things because we now have Jupiter in Taurus. So an awful lot's being stirred up right there. So much. We need to, whatever is important for you as far as your food security, your money security, do what's important for you to feel like you have the security that you want. And you focus on that. I'm not saying everybody has money issues because not everybody doesn't have money issues, but there's certainly a lot going around. All right. And what else for Taurus? Again, the earth, the grounding, be outside. If that's something you love to do. I mean, that's where I decompress, either out on a kayak, which is not earth, that's water. However, there's a lot of schlepping that has to happen before I get the kayak on the water. And walking in the woods, just all of those really earthy, grounded things. Those are what you want to pay attention to. And again, use your wisdom, use your knowledge. We're at the final 10 degrees of this sign for this new moon. So that final 10 degrees of the earth signs is ruled by, from Taurus all the way around. Saturn has a signature in here. I won't get deep into where that comes from, but Saturn's got a signature in here. So that's important too. Now, with this new moon, we're going to go just a little deeper. And this is what I typically do for my Patreon. So, come and join us there. We get a lot deeper in Patreon. I'm going to give you an example of that today. This actually goes on Patreon first. So you guys on Patreon are going to be hearing this and going, what? Because it goes to you guys first, and then it goes on to YouTube. Here is the moon and Mars are in the same place by this measurement. It's called declination. We'll just leave it at that. And over here, when we have the new moon is an applying aspect. And you can see that right here too, folks. The new moon is in a sextile to Mars. It's also in a sextile to Neptune. So we have a lot going on here. So mainly the moon, the sun moon, the new moon, sextile Mars. This helps us to feel self-assured, and we can take action. That's Mars. About what we feel or our home. That's Cancer, taking action around this new moon. This reminds me of, I just saw somebody mention on Facebook, it's a friend, that they're having some new plants planted in their new house, where they're having their new house built and there's some new plants they're putting in. That would be that, taking action about what you're going to do with new plants. It's simple. I know it is simple. We don't have to make all of the astrology so spiritual that we can't use it every day. That's my thing. I want you to use it every day. I want you to see how it plays out and how it works. Now, I just want to touch base really quick. Again, this is the deeper stuff we do in other things in my weekly forecast over on Patreon. What we do here, what I have here is, here's Mars in the sign as it enters the sign of Leo. And as it enters Leo, it's leaving Cancer, which, honestly, it's okay. It's happy to leave Cancer because, it's hard to be so proactive when you're emotional first, because Mars in Cancer wants to take action, but we need to take it through our emotions. And that's not always easy, and it's not always met well. It's just not. And I mean, I know I can even feel whiny when that happens, when Mars is in Cancer. Just the way it is for me. It doesn't have to be that way for you, but it certainly can be for all of us. But here on May 20th, Saturday, May 20th, 11:32 a.m. Eastern time, Mars enters the sign of Leo. And this gives us, we have so much here. I'm just going to touch on it. This is still in the new moon phase. The moon's in Gemini now, but we're still in a new moon phase. So we're still initiating action. We have that Mars square Jupiter, Mars opposite Pluto, and Jupiter and Pluto are square. And then it includes the lunar south node and north node up here. We have this thing. What I've drawn up here is a big old fixed grand cross, right? So we're really feeling like we want to, something needs to change. We can feel the pressure of it, and it will shift as soon as we get the sun into the sign of Gemini, which happens the 21st. What time is that? I don't have that in my head. It's at 3:09 a.m. on May 21st. So this new moon is really dynamic. It's incredibly big. In the sense that it's very late in Taurus, meaning that we're to engage our life experience and our wisdom and what we've experienced over the last month, right? In what it is that we value. You would have probably got an awful lot of feedback recently about what's really important to you. Be aware. You should be able to see that. I see that in a lot of places. And so then the Mars square Jupiter and that north node, Mars square the south node, Mars opposite Pluto. That's all of these things right here. And, you know, this is tapping into that passion, tapping into where you're creative. That's that Mars and Leo. What am I creative? Where do I want to take those steps? And, you know, so use that energy and find a way to be more creative so you can transform what's going on in your life, especially if you're feeling things are rough and raw and really stuck, because we will feel a little bit of that. But again, May is not then. It's, you know what, it's a fantastic month for some people, and it is very stressful for others, but it's how you use it. The losses I had when I crashed my desktop and files I usually back up, I didn't. I don't, anyways. And it's just, so it's helping me to recognize that, you know, what is it that I value the most? I value my time, and I value other things, of course, but it's helping me to hone in on that and making sure that that's where I'm at and that's what's going on. And that, and we need that. So pay attention to where Uranus is in your own chart too. Right now it's at 19 Taurus. So pay attention to what it's interacting in your life, and, you know, make changes that you need to make. I've been making changes, but still this is a big one that I could never have, I wouldn't have made the changes that happened to me on May 9th, right? I wouldn't delete all my files on purpose. No. So but it's the opportunity here is that I get to create from right now, from where we are right now. It's a whole new world, right? Okay. I hope I see you guys over on Patreon, and just comment below. I'm the one who engages. There's nobody else. It's just me. I'm going to respond to everything. I'm going to delete the people that say bad things. No, there's few. There's always some scammers out there saying, "Oh, buy this and buy that," all the time. Got to be diligent. All right, you guys. I guess I didn't need to say that piece, but I did anyways, and that's it. That's who I am. That's it. And I will see you on. Hey, go to the shorts. We do dailies there too. All right. I'm gonna keep talking, so I'll just hang up now. See you later.